Today, there is a new moon in Virgo, and we're talking about aligning with a path of service. I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro Vibe for Thursday, September 14th. And with today's new moon, we begin a new moon cycle. So the moon cycle goes from new moon to the next new moon. And during that, about a month, a little bit less than a month, a moon month, I guess, we have that opportunity to work on the theme that is set in place by the energy of the new moon. And in this case, it's Virgo. We have that energy of being of service, of humility to the greater good, of being useful, create the ability to create things, to make them better, to make them work better, to make them more beautiful. And that is all within the realm of Virgo and Virgo energy. And we have a significant shift from last month's theme, which was creativity and self-expression, that began with the Leo new moon. And you may know that Leo is ruled by the sun. And so it's about shininess and radiance and self-expression and style, creativity. And so Virgo is kind of, follows that energy. It's saying, okay, great. You can express yourself. You can think creatively. You can have flair and style. Now let's take that, bring it down to earth, make it useful, make it applicable. Think about it from a practical perspective and how, of course, in this bigger picture, we can be of service. In yesterday's video for Wednesday, September 13th, I shared some really deep insights, I guess, into the Virgo energy, some of my deeper thoughts about Virgo and why it is so special and an important part of the zodiac. So if you have any questions about, or confusing relationship with Virgo energy, I highly, highly recommend watching yesterday's video. It will really help you reframe critical thinking in terms of like self-criticisms, a self-critical voice, the potential to be hard on yourself, the tendency to judge or nitpick yourself. Watch yesterday's video because it will really help you reframe some of those thoughts that can come along with Virgo energy. And of course, with all energy in the zodiac, we have a lower possibility and a higher possibility. And so yesterday's video, I shared quite a bit with you about that higher possibility of Virgo and why it's so magical and magnificent and truly, truly creative in a very practical way. So with today's Virgo new moon, we are beginning a moon cycle that will be focused on that theme of how can we be better? How can we improve? How can we, so from that critical perspective, think about what a critical eye is really doing. It's not there to say, you're wrong, you're bad. It's there to say, here's what you could do better. And it has so much power when we think of it that way, like that ability to attend to details, to pay attention to our work, to really come present into the present moment in a way that allows us to notice things, to again, pay attention to details, because it is those details that ultimately impact the result, right? Like the creative process is great, but we also have to have that refinement, that ability to perfect it, to shape it, to make it beautiful from an earthly perspective, from a practical perspective. And so Virgo energy shows up in our computers, our technologies. It's right. It's about communication. It's also about just details. and computer coding is nothing if not full of details, right? So it's the behind the scenes work that we do. It's the way that we roll up our sleeves. It is the hours and hours and hours that we put in to making something big, something important, something magnificent, something beautiful. And so whether that is your own creative project, your creative work that you're working on, or whether that is keeping your household going from day to day, right? Or taking care of your grandchildren, like it's all important. And that's why we are thinking about this moon cycle in terms of aligning with that path of service. So how is our work? How is our creative self-expression brought down to earth, made useful, made applicable, made practical? And what are the ways that you can attend to details from that place of, not needing glory or recognition, but just wanting it to be better, just wanting that outcome to be more useful and more of service. So this moon cycle, we are also thinking about anything practical, anything that has to do with improvement. So you could be focused on health issues, themes of healing and wellness in your body. It could be focused on anything that you are doing from day to day, like how you're what are your routines? How are you putting effort into things? What does that look like? Is the effort that you're putting into it getting the results you want? So asking those kinds of questions, asking what you're doing. And again, refer to yesterday's video for more details on this, but why are you doing that, right? Like, what is the reason you're putting effort and time and work into something? Is it just for drudgery? Is it just for a paycheck? Or do you care about the outcome? Do you care about what you're creating and what it looks like and how it comes across? Because that it is that caring that allows you to align with a path of service, with a path of something that can benefit others, yourself, the world around you. So your own creative work, the work that you do day to day, the routines that you engage in, from things as simple as, what is your morning routine, right? What do you do when you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? Is that serving? Is it being of use to you? Is it being of service to you? And is that supporting you in your self-care so that you can be of service to others, so that you can be your best self, right? It's like asking those questions about how are you being useful? How are you supporting yourself so that you can do your creative work? Another theme about today's new moon has to do with Mercury stationing direct, which technically happens the day after the new moon, but is that Mercury station. So when a planet slows down to change directions, we call it a station. It is changing directions, meaning that Mercury energy is heightened during this new moon, meaning that even more attention to detail, even more finer thinking about things, asking ourselves where we can improve, how we can perfect it, what we can do better at. And again, not from a place of self-criticism or being hard on yourself, but from a place of how can you do better, because you want the outcomes that you can make better by doing things a little bit differently. So you are the expert on how to perfect something, on how to improve something, on how to fix something that's not working right. You know how to do it, and you're the one to do it. So maybe you can reframe from not being good enough to being like, it's about you. It's on you to embrace and step into this ability to improve. And it's ironically, right, it is one of the most incredible things that we can do is to work on ourselves and to improve ourselves, and ironically, we can get recognition for that, right? We can have the reward of the healthier relationship, the healthier body, the better work satisfaction, whatever it is that you're working on in your life. Ironically, we can have those rewards, those better results, even though we're not doing it for the reward, right? We're doing it for the intrinsic satisfaction of doing something useful, being helpful, making something better. So that's what you want to be thinking about, not only today, but as today, as being the beginning of this moon cycle. So we've got the Mercury energy, we've got, and Mercury is retrograde during the new moon in Virgo. So there is this real invitation to notice where we can improve. And I really encourage you to reframe any thoughts you have about not being worthy, not being good enough, and having that be the end of the story, because it is only the beginning. It is only the beginning that is inviting you to do better, to step up, to improve, to fix, to repair, to make beautiful. And we're going to be working on that throughout this moon cycle. We're going to be taking the energies that we worked on last moon cycle and shifting them into a more practical, more tangible form, and focusing on those outcomes, what it is we're creating, what it looks like, what it's accomplishing. Is it meeting what we wanted to accomplish? And do we need to make any adjustments? Virgo loves adjustments. Like, where can we course correct? Where can we pay attention to those details? So that's what we're working on. And again, yesterday's video had some really great thoughts on Virgo energy. You could also check out last Sunday's video from September 10th for a bigger picture view of this week and the energies of this week. Earlier this week, also, I spoke about the Venus square to Jupiter that is getting even closer to exact as we speak. And I think it was Monday that I shared about that. So there's some themes going on here with beauty, how we express our beauty, having that beauty come from a place of our own inner truth and inner radiance, and how we're growing and expanding into that. So you can check out Monday's video, September 11th, for a little bit more insight into that particular planetary alignment that is also unfolding and is part of this new moon as well, with the energy of Venus in Leo squaring Jupiter in Taurus, with Taurus being ruled by Venus. Themes of beauty and connecting to the earth and what we value and so on. So lots of opportunities for humility and improvement, and it's not a bad thing. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Marina Ormes. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com, and thank you so much for subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you for your support, and I will see you next time. I'm here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. That's what we're doing here, working with guidance from the planets and how they speak to us. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.